Hey everyone, this is Michael for Spirit Comics. This is part 4 of my review of DC Rebirth Holiday Special number 1 that came out in 2016. And it is worth the price tag of $9.99. Not just because there are 11 stories in here, but because every story is well written, well crafted. So let's get in with the next one. And like I said previously, Harley's story basically frames almost every story in here. So we start back out at the Task Force X Christmas party. And Harley is talking to Superman there at the piano, and Wonder Woman, who is drawn like she is straight out of the DC Golden Age back in the 1940s. The high point of every Christmas special, Harley says, is when the hostess and her guests reminisce over cherished holiday memories. You go first, Wandy, and I tell you, the DC writers had a field day with Wonder Woman. Let's see who wrote this story. Let's see. I never heard of the writers before. So, anyways, back in the story. Well, we don't have Christmas as such on Themyscira, Wonder Woman says. But we do have a celebratory solstice ritual where an Amazon is chosen to distribute gifts in the masked guise of the goddess Diana. And Harley says, "Awesome! You learn something new Of course, particularly bold Amazons may attempt to unmask the gift giver, thus initiating a challenge to combat. The losing challengers are compelled to wear doe suits and run in a simulated hunt." Doe suits? Okay, moving on, Harley says. Once caught, the does are symbolically skinned and prepared for baking in a giant pastry shell. Symbolically, of course. And Wonder Woman goes on and says, they are spared if they can amuse the hunters in some way, such as dancing like chickens. It's all in fun, of course, she says with a big smile. And Harley says, "Wow, that was weird, Soups." And he says, "My folks just put up a tree." One woman says, "Not many people know the true origins of what we now call the Christmas tree are steeped in bloody sacrifice and sorcery." Harley says, I need eggnog here." Okay, we go into the Wonder Woman Constantine story, which is called Dreaming of a White Christmas. December 21st, 2016, Lancaster, England. Wonder Woman and Constantine, Dreaming of a White Christmas. Now that name looks familiar. Writer Mariko Tamaki? Where is it? I think that's the woman who currently writes She-Hulk for Marvel. I could be wrong, but I think that's her. Oh, it's been a year since I've read this story, so let's see how she did. Winter Solstice, and that's John Constantine. Here, a witch's holiday celebrated on the grounds of one of the most famous witch-burning sites in all of jolly old England. Brand... Brangwin here? Should be. Oi, John Constantine. Ha ha ha. Bragman told me about you. Witches love a good spell. A well-placed bit of magical baggage. Having pleasant dreams, John? Anything waking you up in cold sweats these days? The witch asked, which is, kind of strange. They're also far more smug than they get credit for, and that's coming from me. That's John Constantine. He says, normally, I got no problems with nightmares. I am a nightmare. But this ridiculous spell, haven't slept in a bloody wink in days. Where are you vengeful? Well, what do we have here? He thinks. And he sees a familiar face. What's a proper lady like you doing in a place like this? It's Wonder Woman, John Constantine. Not a pleasant surprise. I wonder why. Like I said, it's been a year since I've read this. She was looking for Diogenes, who's supposed to be in Olympus, but you can't trust a god to stay put. Okay. What a coincidence. I'm looking for a young witch named Branquin. Perhaps we can pool our resources. Why are you looking for her? Wonder Woman inquires. As you can imagine, it's quite a long story. Yes, I've heard of your long stories. Oh, she's very cold toward him. And why would Wonder Woman care about witches anyway? She's a goddess. We searched for an hour. Someone had seen Branwyn with someone who could have been Diogenes, but they disappeared. Not a good sign. That one looks pretty. The artwork is, it's not rich in detail like some of the first two stories. Now the Batman story, that one didn't need to be rich in detail because it was, it was just right for the story. The art was. It was to expand our search. What are you doing? She asked. Just a moment, darling. Must be that English charm. So he, I think, whispers to this one. Women love it when you hijack their spiritual communications for personal requests. Really? I didn't know that. And he's thinking, of course, I didn't realize we would end up with the whole party line. Ladies, a little bit of assistance? Are they here willingly? Wonder Woman asked. And he says, ish, which means willingly-ish. In other words, sorta, but not totally. Who are these women? Wonder Woman says. Witches of Lancaster, deceased. I was not a witch. I was a midwife, that one says. I was falsely accused and executed. Right. Well, close enough. He says, oh, look at those eyes. He's like he's rolling his eyes or something. I'm sorry for your suffering, she says. Thank you. Where are they? There. I guess in that building. Right then, he says. Happy solstice, everyone, Constantine says. You're not Dances. Whoever you are, you're coming with me. Doesn't that seem very unlikely to you? What are you doing here? Hello to you, too, Penguin, my dear. Later. That's the dude, I think. You're a real evening killer, John. Remember what happened the last time? That man of yours was a right class A jet. Got what was coming to him. You were a jet. Now you're a nuisance. You're coming up in the world. But now we're going to have to, John says, and then I think that's a Wonder Woman. She thrusts her fist through something. I think perhaps the floor. She says, "Mr. Constantine, your assistance in this matter is not optional." Damn, he says. That's what we have down here. Is that same witch? Brangwyn? Stay here, he says. Let's just get this done, shall we? And over here, this one is the guy that ran away. Says, no one likes a party crasher. Well, that much is true. And Wonder Woman's going after him. There you are, Constantine says. Who doesn't enjoy a brisk sprint through the English winter countryside? Me, he says. So, the pacing of this story is a little slow. And then, on this page, ladies, I request just one last favor. And he says something that can't be read, perhaps a spell. What the? And next up, all of them are there in front. All of those ghosts are there in front of him. You think this feeble flock of ghosts will stop me? No, but they might stall you. And I'm betting that's Wonder Woman. No, or Constantine. Constantine. Nah, mate. Just a convenient distraction. So, back at the house or whatever, I'm fine, nothing happened, so who is he? I thought the bugger looked like Jack Frost, just a guess. He's coming with me. I believe there is the matter of this spell. Can you remove it from Mr. Constantine? I would consider a personal favor. You want it lifted, John? You have to tell me the nightmare. That's the deal. Forget it, he says. Now, I admit, I am curious. You can rot with it, or you can describe for me, in detail, your darkest fear manifest in this dream, jerk. Is it me, or does it seem like this story is a man-hating type story? You are a ridiculous creature, John Constantine. Just tell her if being rid of this is so important. He says, fine. So he whispers it to her, And she burst out laughing. And she says, "That's a good one. Night, John. Sweet dreams." Wonder Woman puts her head back up, and she's out of there with the jerk who we know nothing about, except he tried to do something that we're not exactly sure what he tried to do. Then here in this inn is John Constantine. "Good night, Mr. Constantine. Have a good sleep, sir." "Thank you, Mrs." So he's settling down. "I'm dreaming of," listening to the radio. And he's going to Slumberland. "Okay, little boy. Give Santa a big smile." So that's his nightmare. Well, that it ended. It ended funny, humorous, but the body of the story had sort of a man-hating bent to it. All in all, that was a good story. Dreaming of a White Christmas. So, what did you guys think of the story? Leave your comments down below, and subscribe to my channel, Spirit Comics, if you haven't already. Smash the bell like She-Hulk, so you'll be notified of all new uploads. And like and share this video with others who might enjoy it. Till next time, true readers,